Let's talk about this honing rod from Victorinox. I got this because I don't like dull knives, and what I often do is every couple times, maybe once a week, once a month, where I take one of my knives out and I'm going to be cutting vegetables, I do a couple swipes in each direction with the honing rod, and almost immediately you can tell that it makes such a big difference on the sharpness of your knife. I won't get into like super specifics of like, sharpening expensive knives and what it does to the actual knife if you look into a microscope. But I will tell you from hands-on experience, when you sharpen it, like, okay, let's say you are cutting a tomato and you realize that your knife has a really hard time getting through the tomato itself, do a couple swipes on the honing rod. I would say like a low angle is the best, like maybe, I don't know, 10 to 20 degrees. There might be a really specific reading that you could look if you're looking for exact measurements, but kind of do like a really shallow swipe a couple times in this direction and then flip the blade over and then a couple times in the other direction and try to really like hone in on the point. So you do that, you go back to your cutting board, try to cut the same tomato and it'll glide right through. So it's pretty amazing how it really like tightens up the knife to be able to sharpen it a little bit. So it's not going to really like, it doesn't technically sharpen the knife, it technically like hones it. So it kind of like really brings everything back together at the point of the knife on a really small scale. So I believe that's how it works, or at least that was my understanding. This is the 10-inch, and I've had this for a really long time, and I use it quite often. So I will say a couple things about it. My knife block doesn't accommodate a 10-inch honing rod. So it does have a spot for a honing rod, and when I put it in, it does stick out a little bit. So if you're looking to store this in your knife block, choose the size that makes the most sense for you and keep that into consideration. I haven't really needed to wash this. So if you, for whatever reason, get this dirty, do a couple passes with a wet paper towel, dry it off, and set it aside. I think it'll be fine. The handle, it's not like no slip, so it is kind of like a plastic material. I haven't noticed like any issues of the actual honing rod itself coming loose from the handle. This is like a used kitchen tool that I have, so this is not in pristine condition, but you can kind of get an expectation of what it might look like in your house if you heavily use kitchen tools like I do. And that's it. That's my review. I hope you found this review somewhat helpful. I hope you maybe learned something about honing rods, and thank you for watching.